So big kudos to Nicole, who allowed me to work with her and help her reach her fat loss goals. Now, she's still on her journey. It's a constant process because it's a lifestyle, and we're always implementing and conditioning and strengthening our bodies. This is a daily process, a daily decision. But as I was speaking with her, she decided, she opened up about her depression and where she was mentally. And the reason why I want to highlight this is because Nicole was on a journey for over 8 years. 8 years just trying to manage her weight and battling with, a problem that she felt she could never find a solution to. 8 years. I mean, 8 years or more. And I want you to think about that number and how long you've been battling with trauma or the pain or being uncomfortable with your body. And she said, the first thing I knew I had to do is I had to get out of my own head, and I had to give you my mind, because I had already settled for just losing 10 pounds, but I knew losing 10 pounds wasn't gonna get me to a healthier weight. I knew 10 pounds was not gonna make me feel better. And just the reality of her being realistic about her goals and having clarity about where she wanted to be, and then the commitment that she had in place of how she was going to go about reaching this goal was superb. Now, with Nicole, we started with short-term goals, and I like to start with short-term goals with all of my clients, and I did so for myself because short-term goals sets you up for success. When you're thinking, okay, it's going to take me 3 months or 6 months to get to that. Let me tell you, just from experience, you'll quit on the third day because you don't have the discipline, okay? You're not going to hold yourself accountable for that that longevity commitment, okay? So the first thing is that she got on board to having a short-term goal, realistic goals. And we worked together daily to make sure that she reached these goals. The problem with Nicole wasn't consistency. She's consistent, and she was consistent. She was just consistent in the wrong areas. So it was just changing her old normal and recreating a new normal. So when I spoke to Nicole today, she told me how much money she was saving just by avoiding processed foods, how she has found it to be more rewarding meal prepping, and how she was able to overcome the hurdle of food addiction. See, you don't really realize that you're addicted to something until you have to say no to it, and then you notice the mood swings or your attitude behind it. Then you start to say, hey, I really have a problem with this. And she really struggled with making the right food choices. It wasn't more so the fact of being active, because she was more than willing to be active. Although starting out, we only committed to a 3-day training program. However, we also made sure that she was accountable and responsible for all the other areas, such as nutrition, in order to get the results that she wanted in the time frame, at the deadline that she had in mind. And this is a risk for me. It's definitely a process, and it's hard to trust people or entrust your life into another program, another system, another something that's promising you something else. And at the end of the day, all you want to do is reach the goal and not have to revisit this process again. And trust me, I can relate. I worked with clients who had the same end goal. It's like, once I get through this process, I'm going to make sure I do everything I can possible not to live in this jail again. It's a prison. It's a prison. That's what, and it's so funny because she referred to it as being in a mental prison. And we need to free you. We need to free you, break chains, burdens, and everything else, because you don't have to live in that. You don't have to continue on that roller coaster. So guys, I ask that you share this video with someone that you may feel that there is no hope, or that they've been trying things over and over again, or just dipping and dabbing into different diets that are not really getting them the long-term results that they're looking for. But hey, again, I do have a few spots, 3 spots left for my transformational program. With that being said, I ask, if you are interested, you can interact with this video and I'll reach out to you. Comment or leave your feedback below, you know, something maybe you struggled with, or a mental hurdle that you've overcome during your fat loss journey that you noticed that you could relate to, even with Nicole's, or even with my story personally. Thank you again for allowing me to share, and you all have a great Sunday.